our story in Brevard County. And I think Brevard County, we have a great situation. It really was a perfect storm when this all came together. And it was all just about talking to each other and really just found out we really have the same vision. It was just getting all people lined up in their lanes and on the highway, and it's really starting to work, and really starting to work very, very well. Anyway, I'm Jeff Arnott, the Director of Adult Education for Brevard Public Schools. Here we got Lisa Rice. She's our president of our local CareerSource in CareerSource Brevard. Real great partnership. We meet once a month. If we have to meet or not, we still meet. Anyway, just to talk about the local issues. Just a small group and everything else. Art Hoelke, he's Vice President of Knight Armament, and that is a gun manufacturer. You probably won't hear that too often in an educational facility with smiles and happiness. But Art's been really pushing the advanced manufacturing initiatives and partnering with schools, the K-12 schools and the post-secondary schools throughout all Central Florida. Tonya Holder is our new IBEST teacher. She's an ex-engineer with extensive experience in teaching GED, so it was a perfect situation. She knows a lot about manufacturing, so she's working with our advanced manufacturing crowd. We're very close with the college next door, and I've already had people come up and say they're going to steal her, and I'm going to tell everyone right now, I will not sign those transfer papers. And Barbara Clift, of course, many of you know her for several go-arounds here in Eastern Florida. She's our grant manager, and she's also a career pathways specialist who was working very close with this team as well. So we're very happy to have everybody here together. But let's talk about our, I'll pass it over here to Art, and Barbara will start doing the mediating from this point on. Art, you can talk about how you got everybody involved.
Well, I've been doing this for about 8-9 years. I started out, and some of you might know, at Hillsborough Community College. A gentleman named Dr. Eric Rowe was there, and he was a teacher, and he also had a passion for manufacturing. So he asked me to go ahead and be part of the board there for the Banner and Career Center, and that's how I started life on trying to understand how the education system works. Running manufacturing and understanding education are two separate things. The political arena is just phenomenal, all the steps that you have to go through. But I think if I can leave you with a very good message, even though I've been working this for this many years, and some of you have been doing the same thing, don't give up. I think right now we have the best momentum that we've ever had to go ahead and make a difference in how we teach, but also in the lives that we are touching. I get to work with high school students. We adopted a high school in our local community, and I'm able to see those kids learn a career pathway that's changing their lives. The adult ed program, same thing. They're seeing that, hey, I have something that I could go to. I could become a part of a family. So don't give up. I tell my workers, I said, look, most of the time we have 70% of the program, 80% of the program complete, and then we give up. Right now, we're at the 80%. We want to keep on pushing over the finish line. And I think with all the educators, all the administrative people that are here, working with our legislators, we are going to see very positive change in this coming year for sure.
Yeah, I agree, Art. We are definitely at the crossroads of adult education. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of moving down that path of change. For me, change is no big deal. I went to 3 different high schools, lived in 18 different homes growing up, and I've had 30 different addresses in my life. And so forth. To me, if the change isn't happening, something's going on wrong for me. It's just the way I feel. But I think we're definitely on that right path. And, we definitely appreciate those efforts there. Barbara, you want to?
Yeah, we have an agenda set up, E3, Education, Employment, and Economic, and we've just had the overview. The need for CareerSource and education to partner. One of the things that we've really started doing is meeting, as Jeff said, meeting on a monthly basis with CareerSource. We meet with Lisa Rice, and she brings out these books that are about that thick on WIOA as we plow through and try to figure out what it is we're supposed to be doing and getting ready for. But those meetings are very, very important because we come together and we're all on the same page, because as we are trying together to figure out what we're going to be held accountable for, because adult education has specific points to be held accountable for: workforce, voc rehab. And as we set our FICAPS Advisory Committee, we have a wide variety of people, organizations involved in our committee. We have like 18 on our advisory committee, but we have both rehab, we have the school board, we have art, business, and Eastern Florida State University. So we have a wide variety of people on the board, and so it's valuable to get all of these different entities involved. Lisa, the need for CareerSource and education to partner.
Okay, so first of all, how many of you know who your CareerSource person even is? How many of you meet with them on a regular basis? Okay, how many of you have started to talk about the infrastructure cost that has to be shared?
She shared with me.
I got one hand I think I saw on that. No, a couple more over there. Okay, so how many of you even realized there was an infrastructure cost? Yeah, now you do. So here's what's going on. In WIOA, there is a new piece in there that says that the adult education part of the system is a core program. And as a core program in the workforce one-stop world, that means that you will be paying an infrastructure cost into the workforce system. And you go, but I'm not located there, right? Doesn't matter. You still get to pay an infrastructure cost. So one of the things that's just one piece, by the way. One of the things that Jeff and I have said is, okay, so we may not be co-located today, but maybe we are later. But even today, what's the relationship? What's the staffing look like? What's the referral system between the two systems look like? And the conversations that have opened up when we meet every single month have been incredible, because we haven't structured them so tightly that we can't brainstorm about new and exciting things. And we keep bringing business in, and not just art, but we bring other business pieces in to talk about where do we go now. An example is that a lot of the GED students that Jeff has are wanting to go into retail and wanting to go into, some of the Walmarts and things like that. Business development, just starting up on the adult ed side, well established on your CareerSource side. So why don't we work together? Why don't we help open doors for the adult ed folks to go in and say, here's what I've got, and make that connection? That whole thing has now started, but it came about because we had a conversation about needing to do something. Yeah. So real quick on that business liaison connectivity too. It's not just about can we open a door for their business side person to be able to get in and talk about the students. That business liaison will know about the students as well, so that when they're out working on other pieces and parts with other businesses, they have in their back pocket this student that very well may fit into a job. So they become an ambassador, in essence, for the adult education students that are coming out. And how many of you have heard anything about that we have youth funds for work experience? How many of you have tapped into those? Not too bad. And so for the rest of you who are sitting there going, what? Here's what it is. The CareerSource system has a mandate in WIOA to expend 20% of the youth funds on what they call work-based training. That can be a work experience where the wage is paid 100% for usually like 8 weeks, or it could be an OJT, on-the-job training, where they can go in and it subsidizes the wage for 50% during a training period. The workforce system does all of that work to get the people into the jobs, But it's a great connectivity because also under WIOA, we share performance measures. And so this is one of the performance measures. Did you get them into work? What was the wage? How, well are they staying there, or are they staying? So again, these are conversations we keep having. That's why this tie is so important for us to have. If you are not tied at the hip with your CareerSource person, literally having not just in the weeds who's the staffing person conversation, but the higher level, please go back and do that. Please do that. It's important.
Yeah, the little sting of the infrastructure cost definitely was a little less swelling when she did assign us the business liaison, because that's somebody that's out there helping us promote our program at the same time. So those, I think just leveraging, I've heard that word a lot today, leveraging that stuff. And also our central campus in Cocoa, we have no room there, but we're going to try to find something out where they can have a small one-stop center there. So it does help promote both sides. It is the central part of our campus.
And sorry, one more thing on that infrastructure too. So currently at the state level, the CareerSource Florida Board has put forward a legislative recommendation. And in that legislative recommendation, it is saying that the adult education infrastructure would be negotiated at the local level. This is different than what's happening with Voc Rehab. Voc Rehab's infrastructure is being negotiated at the state level. But we are expected to come up with what is this local infrastructure cost going to look like. And it's got to be pushed quickly because it's supposed to be a part of our local plan, and everybody has a local plan due at the end of April, this April. So if you're not talking, they're probably going to put something in there. Just saying.
We'll be talking soon.
Art, would you like to chime in on the CareerSource and industry to partner?
Sure. I know when I started this long journey, I come to find out that academia and industry must partner together. I find it that we do a lot of plant tours, and I bring students in, I bring teachers in, and the last group of teachers I brought in, around 60 some odd teachers, I had, please show of hands, how many of you educators have been in a manufacturing facility? Well, during that meeting, I didn't have any. So it told me that I have to go ahead and expose these teachers more. Every summer, we even are part of the TIES program, and I bring a teacher in for 3 weeks, and they work with us side to side. I work them all the way through the HR department, all the way through their exit interview. And they're able to go ahead and see the machines. They work with the engineers all the way through. They even create a project for them. And at the end, I build their project. And they get to take it to their classroom. They show it, whether it's a pencil holder or whatever they decide to go ahead and build. And we'll go ahead and make it in the model shop and produce that. So the tie-in is very critical to basically give them exposure. Even February 4th, we've opened up our facility, and I have 71 assistant principals that are going to be coming to our facility. Why is that important? It's because they're the ones that drive what kind of curriculum is going to be in the classroom. And so industry being part of that helps the educators understand, here is what I'm needing for my qualified workforce, because that's what got me started in the first place. I have 270 some odd employees, and I have a lot of aging workforce that are ending their career and retiring and going and enjoying life. So we have to create that pipeline of talent. That's why I'm here, because I believe it starts with the educators. You all have an opportunity to speak into young people's lives saying, you know what, manufacturing is a great industry to be a part of. Most don't even know how clean, how robotics and automation, and it's state-of-the-art anymore. If you come to our shop, it's very clean. I love a clean environment. I have a lot of government people that come in constantly to see our facility, and so that's what I like to have in our shop. We have about 600,000 square feet of facility and over about 120 CNC computer numerical control machines. So I need academia's help. So the only way I could get what I need is to become a part. And so there are a lot of industry partners out there that would love to be a part, but don't know how to connect the dots. And what we've done in Brevard County is we have been able to work very closely together. Some of our conversations are, there can't be any silos, there can't be any hidden agendas. Here is what the common goal is, and we work toward that common goal and say, you know what? We need a qualified workforce. How are we going to do that? And then I work with, more the legislative side, the academia side, whether it's Eastern State Community College there, trying to put a brand new tech center there. I got legislative letters that I've already sent out to go ahead and gain support, because we know as a community, when we pull together, we can make a difference. It's when everybody has their own little, this is my little corner, it will not work. Just like in my business, I have to work on creating a design and working it all the way through to production to get it out to our soldiers. The only way that's going to happen, we have to have a team environment. Just like what I heard yesterday, that you have 2 teachers, and you basically have to share that responsibility. I might have a certain insight, she might have a certain insight, but we work together because we want to make sure our student or our employees have the best possibility to succeed. If they succeed, I succeed as a business as well.
And so Art is one of the very involved businesses in Brevard County. Thank God for that. But there are a lot of other businesses who they're not involved like this. They're not touching with the schools. They're not on the schools' advisory councils for any of the academies or anything like that. And they're not really engaged in particular with adult ed. So one of the links that we do is we bring in industry on a regular basis for focus group meetings. And the information that we gather from them is then shared back. So one of the initiatives we have going on right now is a very large initiative around manufacturing. We have a grant, we're working the whole sector strategy, lots and lots and lots of information coming out of there that's feeding back over to Jeff about, how do you get these students to come out not just with GED, but with a certification that the industry recognizes and is saying, yes, I'll take that. So a certified production technician is one. OSHA training and certifications is another one that we keep hearing that people need. It's a basic kind of cert. It's a good thing to lay that industry cert over the GED because you've given them a step forward. So other initiatives that we have going on that as we hear from the businesses will start to feed over here, or we have a huge aviation one that's coming along that's going to be working with our airport authority that is growing leaps and bounds. And they have a need for things around transportation, logistics, distribution kind of stuff. So all of that has certifications too, entry level, that come along with it. Now we'll be having those conversations, letting Jeff know, here's what it looks like. He can overlay that into some of those career curriculum plans. I love that you guys have some, by the way, on the site. I looked at those really quick this morning, and that's excellent. This is how you grow that curriculum that has a work base. So that's what all of your CareerSource people should be doing around the state, is bringing in industry and having the conversation to find out what's needed. The question is, are they telling you?
The next thing we want to chat about is what does our FICAPS look like in Brevard? And we got the FICAPS grant, and we took a leap off the hill and started a program. And Tonya is she's an engineer, and she's our FICAPS instructor with GED, and we partnered with Eastern State College and Eastern Florida, and we're using the Jedi model, and Lisa's going to tell you a bit about, not Lisa, I'm sorry, and Tanya's going to tell you a bit about that.
Hi, I'll be brief. Our program is similar to what Harold mentioned yesterday. We started our FICAPS program last semester with 6 students, so that was successful. We had some reflections and learning from our first group of students. So this semester we have 5 students participating in the FICAPS program. We are, our students are enrolled in a CPT course, Certified Production Technician course, and they're learning about entry-level positions into manufacturing. They learn a little bit about safety, maintenance awareness, production and processes, and then their final unit is on quality. Eastern Florida State provides the instructor for the CPT course, and I am the GED instructor from Central Area Adult Ed. It was a wonderful fit because of the location of our Central Area Adult Ed building, and then the college is less than a mile away, probably more like a half a mile. So our students attend at Central Area Adult Ed. They work on their GED. I was CPT certified, so I can relate to the material that the Eastern Florida State instructor provides. So when they're with me, I tie in the GED skills to what they're learning in their CPT course. For example, if they're learning about gear and gear ratios, then I discuss the math with them. Why do I need to understand ratios? When they're learning how to use instrumentation tools, there's a lot of fractions, conversion, unit conversions with that. So I correlate or integrate some of the GED skills with what the CPT instructor is doing. It's a great relationship with Eastern Florida State. Our students get hands-on experience with machines, lathes, and other things like that. And it's been a great partnership. We have excellent students. I would say the challenge for us is marketing. Our students, they don't know about manufacturing, and so we need to tell them that it is a prosperous career they can build. So for instance, the students who earn their CPT certification while they're earning their high school diplomas, it's concurrent. They earn 16 credit hours towards their engineering technology degree. And so we're trying to do things to market that program for our students so we have more students interested in our program.
And I'm going to jump onto this because when they finish that program, what we have going with this manufacturing initiative is a summer youth internship program. And the CPT students, when they graduate, will be included as the pool, part of the pool of the available students for the businesses to interview, to pick, and select to come into their business for an internship. The likelihood is that for the GED students, we will be able to, CareerSource will be able to pay for that work experience time, that internship time. But we also have high school students who are going to be in that are coming out of the academies. And in that case, the employer is paying for the internship. So again, this is all coming about just because of conversations and what have you got, what have we got?
Yeah, 2 partners that really work well with this is my counterpart in CTE at the school district. Janice Schultz has worked really, really close with us as well, Art and Lisa and Barbara and everybody, to kind of mirror what our internships looks like they do at the high schools and so forth. In Brevard County, here's another plus. Some look as a plus and look as a minus. We don't have a full tech center in Brevard County. The college handles a lot of the post-secondary CTE programs. So we have true bridge programs at Eastern Florida State College. And Frank, who was going to be here, he's actually skiing right now. Frank the dean over there has been real supportive and really reaching out to us and working with our students. Because the students do leave with us, as Tonya mentioned, with 16 credit hours that goes toward their degree. And Eastern Florida's even kicked it up a notch when they came to me and they said they were serious about career pathways. Well, show me you're serious about it. And they said every one of our graduates, GED or adult high school graduates, will get a free class at Eastern Florida State College, and they delivered on that promise. They came to graduation and gave them certificates. So that was another big plus. So our partnership with Brevard County has been nothing but beautiful. And we're dealing with some tough customers up here too, and it has really grown and doing a real good job.
Our district is very diverse. It's 70 miles long. We have 4 adult ed centers, and we're working now with FICAPS and our planning grant with each of the other 3 centers. Tonya represents the central, but we have Palm Bay and South Area Adult Ed, North Area Adult Ed, and we're working now to design programs that we're going to implement next year. And because we eventually want to have a program like this in each of our schools. And for example, like South Area, they have a hospital right down the street from them. You can see it from the front door of their facility. And so they're really looking at CNA programs and things like that to partner with the hospital. So, and the Palm Bay area, they're very interested in the aviation part of the industry because we have the airport there, and we have a lot of manufacturing of airplanes there. There were jets. They moved in there, and they're making airplanes. So, and they're interested in partnering with us on a lot of things. So, you just have to get out there and get in on it, find out what's going on in your industry, in your area, and get involved with those industries.
Tonya, there's 2 more, and then we're going to open it up to the audience. They want to know who pays the students' tuition.
I guess
Jeff, you want to take that one?
Yeah, we have a partnership with United Way that helped us pay for this first semester. We used I used a little internal funds as well to help pay for it. And going into next year, we know Lisa's going to have some availability to help pay for it as well. There's a piece of that infrastructure cost. There is a little leverage for that. She's going to help out too, to help out those students. So we do have some ways to pay for it. I know that's going to be a seminar coming up soon here about graded funding and stuff. But pretty much any way we can get it, or try to figure out a way we don't want the students to have to pay. Now, I still make them pay the $30 block tuition fee for GED. I always believe a little skin in the game. I'm a little old school when it comes to that. But the actual PSAB part and the certifications part, yeah, that can be costly. I understand that. So, it's just in closing here. It's Brevard County is a unique place. It's one of the larger counties in the state of Florida, literally in length and in population. Nobody knows where it is on the map. In fact, when I left the Florida Keys to come to Brevard County, they were asking me, I would have a wonderful time in Fort Lauderdale. People just kind of don't know where it's at. You have to explain to them about NASA and so forth. And all the communities, there's really no huge, large community. They're all kind of suburban feel and a beach community. And it worked really well, this partnership that we've had with all the entities and a college. And we're a standalone AGE type of thing. We don't have a tech center right next door to work with this and everything. So it can work. If it can work in Brevard County, it can work throughout the whole state of Florida. And also, if you want to learn more about it, and Mark wanted me to plug my Brevard Public Schools Facebook page, and I will do that. So if you want to learn more about these type of things, check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Brevard. Thanks for looking out for me, Mark.